museum. I think we have time. Telling me he needs a steady cam. My problem with taking pictures, when I was a freelance photographer, I got so tired of being behind the camera.
I want one of those power tools.
Wheelchair place.
Astronaut Connor. They're not mock-ups. A panel mock-up.
Got people waiting.
They use 5 of them.
Speed of 6,000 miles an hour, altitude of 38 miles in just under 3 minutes.
Sorry?
I'm just reading how quickly it got up.
Okay, climb in.
I won't assume the position. There's a sign inside it.
Of course not.
You got a video opportunity.
It says motion picture.
Oh, I'm saying, high five for good.
So there are some unexpected results of having spent time in space. Where's your space helmet, Cindy?
Can you do the capsule thing now?
What you need to do is stand in the middle.
Hi, how's it going, everybody? So how does it feel to be in 1962? Pretty incredible, huh? To see it all in front of you in living color. Oops.
The drama was partly played out in this 2,200 square foot room, filled with unique equipment and a team of people dedicated to making the dream a reality.
This is Mercury Mission Control. Let me point out some of the machinery. This is the retro guidance console. And over here we have the voice capsule command. Oh, and check this out. Over here we have a mission event proto guidance type thing, right? And it has an...
Thanks, folks. Enjoy your lunch.
There's 3 in this group, Anthony.
I'm not familiar with it. He was your FAA person.
Oh, gosh, I didn't know that.
He's working out of Washington, D.C.
Is that right?
Andy Thomas was your second.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, it was.
Well, welcome to Kennedy. You have some good questions for me, guys.
Yeah, they've got the questions lined up
Show you a couple
already.
nice movies.
Thank you.
He was designated as a naval aviator in 1966 and flew 64 combat missions over Vietnam, so thank you very much for your service, sir. He attended the test pilot. That's not all. He attended the test pilot school at Edwards Air Force Base in California. He's logged 8,800 hours in over 40 aircraft, including 600 carrier landings. He was selected by NASA in 1978, and he flew as the pilot on Space Shuttle mission STS-41G in 1984. Ladies and gentlemen, my privilege to introduce to you astronaut John McBride. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the Sunshine State. Finally, we got a little warm weather. I think it's going to warm up. I know you thought it was cold here this morning. For us who live here in Florida, it was pretty chilly, but you could be in Minnesota. Minus 20 this morning, I think, with a wind chill factor or something like that. Or in Europe right now, suffering through some pretty cold weather. So enjoy Florida. We're really happy that you're sharing your day and your vacation with us here. So you inject water into here and mix it up, and you take a little sip out of your bag here. freeze-dried foods continue.
Your camera's turned on, and I strongly encourage the flash be on, and I'll take your pictures. And we'll start with the first group here.
How are you?
Okay, here we go. Just look right this way. 3, 2, and 1.
Smile.
Now your camera. 3, 2, and
There you go, guys.
next, please.
How you doing? I've been here since I was co-op in '81.
Oh, just look right this way. 3, 2, and 1.
All right, now your camera. 3, 2,
Hello, hi there, how are you doing?
This one actually flew.
Poses. I wonder why there's so many poses.
Sorry?
I wonder why there's so many poses. Look at cool.
And I might say that we got the Greek infidel for doing our job, which I'm extremely glad. Demonstrate the feasibility of almost everything we plan to do in Apollo.
A lot of construction. This starts to give you some barely clear. I think it might take us to about Cape Canaveral, which is separate. Thank you.
My name's Mary. I'm one of the hosts today on the KSC Up Close tour. Wendell's going to be escorting us around. Please, if you have any questions, ask either one of us. That's really what we're here for today. If you take a look at the inside page of the booklet that you picked up as you were walking up towards the gate, I'll talk a little bit about where we are and where we're going. I haven't seen too many alligators today. It was surprising. Headquarters facility houses lots of contract offices. The center director, Robert Cabana, 4-time shuttle astronaut. Him and his crew started construction of the International Space Station December of 1998. Completed by Mark Keller and his crew of STS-134. So all the big chiefs park out front and everybody else parks out back. This is the Space Station Processing Facility. It kind of gives you an idea that we were building all the space station hardware here because we launched it from this location. But it was built in Huntsville, Alabama. Through there and go over to the building off in the corner. Walk into the Tundra, that's where the model original mission control consoles, boat. Now we docked at the front of the space station. This black object here on the end is called the pressurized mating adapter, which is number 2. Expedition crew that goes up to the space station and sunsets. Down to the right is the port. A couple cruise ships in. People are off those cruise ships visiting with us today. By October of 1968, Apollo 7 took off. Our first 3-man flight was now flawless. Pushed NASA over here to Merritt Island, built 2 more launch pads, and went off to the moon December of 1968 through December of 1972. We ended up putting Skylab in space in We will have a chance to see a picture of the Space Launch System today inside the vehicle assembly building, so I can show you what a next generation can be. And it looks similar to the Saturn V rocket.
So someday the Owls could be putting up man in the future.
I don't know if that's actually possible. There is more than one sitting on there, so that looks like both the babies sitting on the nest already. Exit the door with a 6 foot of clearance. After they came out the door, they'd add this little lighting rod at the top to launch umbilical towers. At this point, you're in space. There's no air. There's no way to parachute home. And 2 days later, we'll be supposed to be in the building. Enterprise will go to the Intrepid Sea and Air and Space Museum in New York.
They haven't built the place for it yet.
That is 6 million pounds of machinery. If you could walk on top this size of the infield of a baseball diamond. Each corner has its own hydraulic leveling system. That whole deck can be raised as much as 6 feet. It'll pick up almost 9 million pounds.
Very carefully.
There's no way. Plenty of room to get underneath it and move it. This new tower platform was built for Constellation. It's now going to be used by Space Launch System. And that's because they sink the hole there at the base, if you'll notice. I'm going to cross the crawlway. Come back to the scan. Actually, I'm going to do it 4 times today.
What shuttle is sitting over there?
What shuttle is that? That's our model. That's a model over there. No backpacks are allowed inside. I know this place is quite impressive. This floor is 8 feet thick of concrete that you're standing on. 2 separate doors. One that's going to go left and one that's going to slide to the right. Now there's another doorway all the way down there at the south end. And the Space Launch System too. Here's the first stage of the Saturn V rocket being picked up here on the end. The top of the rocket itself is the Command Module, Service Module, and Lunar Module. The first stage of the Saturn 1B behind me, 8 2-to-1 rockets that strapped up together. The external fuel tank was kept in here because there was no other place to keep it and was checked before it went between the boosters. Come on over and see it, man. This is the real thing. This is not a model. We've already got across the way. Everybody turn faces. She flew 33 times in space. Not until they did fully retired. Unless you were able to work with it, you got no chance to make this one. Even as an employee working here, somebody from the outside world has to be so be able to serve. She was Russian travel office. Outside the battery on. Now we don't think all of the engines are coming out. It looks like about the pound a piece. We're talking they will use the last 15 days shuttle engine for space launches. Now we need a lot of protection for that steering wheel return. The hottest point would be right at the very front nose, down out on the edges of the wings. And it's not tile, it's called reinforced carbon 2300. There are 3 white tiles if you look up around the top, 5 quarters. 22 feet length, 78 foot wingspan, 44 minutes. So it's a power transporter down in it. It goes in it. Is sitting out at pad A, empty or loaded. You notice in the corner of the building as we come by, the people door right there in the very corner. We do not control any rocket pads on Cape Canaveral. Pad 39A and B only from that location. You'd have to have a walkway and an elevator to have access to it. Observation gantry is not a place to stand for walk. 7 wires attached to the 195-foot level with a basket. You have to sit in the basket backwards. You'll be on the ground in 30 seconds. There's a bunker there at the base of the pad. Yeah, there's a piggy down here. We have wild hogs and pigs out here. Things that have to remove with the pads before they're going to allow us to start riding on the inside again. That means this tour will change again in the near future. Fence line, 6 camera hills, cameras on the pad, cameras on the rock and the shuttle. Both those arms would have to be off to the side like you see them now at launch time. Water tower would hold 300,000 gallons fresh water only. In the last 15 seconds, the water will be coming out of the tower, flooding over top of that mobile launch platform and underneath in the flame trench. Now you have 5-6 feet of water standing in there, absorbing the noise. The space shuttle would have shaken to pieces, cracked windows in people's houses to 15-20 miles away. 6,000 to 8,000 degrees. The beach house is down to our right. It's across from pad 41. Train track, at least 43 miles of train track. Vegetation always comes back. Set off sound system, chase the animals away.
That's still kind of.
What post? The old one.
In that little bunker right there. That little
So what happens to those guys when the rocket takes off?
Big one, see what comes for it.
It was the 25th mission now, and the 10th of Challengers. Sit on the rockets, sit on the shuttle, sit on the Soyuz. It's not really the space travel. Now we have it for our car and our phones. We have a smoke detector because of the Apollo 1 fire. Rectangular box. Countdown clock. Extra little tanks would sit on these cradles, tow them off the barge, the vehicle assembly line. Right over by the flag, to the left. This is a press site. Also included family and friends of the astronauts and VIP guests, NASA. It never's going to Los Angeles. It's not going to Edwards to be taken off. It's going to Los Angeles.
Wheelchair guests and hearing impaired guests, please use the door to your far left.
Descend 3 men to the moon and back.
For the comfort, safety, and view.
This is the firing room. Launch control for the Apollo missions. This is not a mock-up. These are the very consoles we sat at when men first took off to fly to the moon. The tragedy of Apollo 1 had put us a year and a half behind. We were making up for it in one big leap, and we were doing it with a rocket
that no man had ever flown before.
Leave his planet behind and journey to another. Destiny is being embraced.
CPS says verify go for launch. DTSC verify go for launch. SRO verify go for launch. LM verify go for launch. ELO verify go for launch.
The countdown clock will start on my mark in T-minus 3 minutes. 3, 2, 1, mark.
This is launch control. T-minus 3 minutes and coming. We have firing command, and firing command is in.
All systems go.
T-minus 45 seconds and coming. First stage blast and tank has been pressurized. We have the power transfer and now on the flight batteries within the launch vehicle.
11, 10, 9,
Apollo 8 successfully orbited the moon, and the astronauts returned safely to the Earth.
Things are getting bigger. I told you it was bigger. That's not a mock-up. Okay, go.
Folks, did you come over with a chair from the BC, or did you pick up here outside?
That was here outside.
Okay,
yes.
no problem.
Yeah.
The ring.
That big ring right there.
card market. Thank you. Are now closed for today's operations. Thank you.
Okay, Gary. Okay.
Still have to put that
Remember watching this one?
Yeah, I was working with the other Columbia.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Really young to be working.
You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. All steps per man. Science lead per man.
It was a moment shared by an entire world.
Airmen from the planet Earth first set foot upon the America. It came in peace for all mankind.
With these first steps, mankind stood on the highest ground.
Standing on the surface and looking at planet Earth for the first time, seeing the beauty, seeing the finiteness of it, the limits of it, realizing what a shame it was that people were confronting each other on that planet.
You may roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, you Halloween sacrifice center is
No gifts?
Folks, finding mission right there is one of our eagles. Building the sitting right there on the pole right there.
Maybe the most lasting achievement.
So the space station would never been founded without the space shuttle. It's a phenomenal accomplishment. When you consider not just the engineering of it, I mean, there's hardware from around the world that comes together in space.
Here at the Kennedy Space Center, we have over 500 different species of wildlife. That includes over 340 different species of birds alone.
That will house Atlantis, and they intend to have that done by the summer of 2013 with a grand opening there sometime during that summer.
And this is why I'm not going there today. If you're 2 feet tall.
Couple of cool things to get a picture of.
We've flown a lot.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many flights. Hall 11. That would be pretty cool.
Only $1,200 autographed.
Yeah.
A little hatch door. Removable hatch door.
I wonder how much those are. Except for the two guys up top, it's not signed by them. Huh. Wonder why.
Klingon. No, maybe Romulan.
Okay, this is a
Could
test
be either
if
one.
you're a Klingon or a Romulan.
I guess that must
He
be.
must be one of those. Look, it likes you.
I think it's Klingon.
Power supply?
No, well, my battery's running on that. So now maybe go see better. I need a key. See him on here.
You can open these up and you don't even have to cut the end up and stick
That
them
radio's
together.
got, if I put a paddle on it, I mean,
Well, I guess I can find something.
You did.
$4.99.
All right.
It's a start.
Yep, so we're stocked in depth.
We try to stock all the items that are in our catalog. We're not always successful, but
Get a good picture of the bird sitting up there.
Yep.